What's going on, family? Back again for another Wednesday. It's Let's Talk About It, your favorite Bleacher Report IG Live show. I'm your host, Jeff, and we got a lot to talk about. The Warriors destroying the Nuggets and possibly cementing their claim to be the #1 team of all time. Jimmy Butler getting some revenge on his old team, the TWolves, and Soulja Boy making one of the most outrageous claims I think I've heard in 2019, and it's only been 16 days. But first, we want to hook y'all up. We want to give you some exclusive. You see the drip I'm showing right now, my BR swag, this hoodie. You want this hoodie? Well, you locked in at the right time. So what we're going to do is give you the word of the day. You got two things to do. Word of the day now and a trivia question to answer later. Send those both to us in our DMs on Bleacher Report's IG, and you could win your very own BR hoodie. So the word of the day is smacked, because everyone was getting smacked last night. The Warriors blew out the Nuggets and set more than one NBA record. They were the first team to drop 140 plus points with 10 or fewer less free throw attempts. So they were just dropping buckets on buckets on buckets on the Nuggets with no regard for their #1 seed, any of their players, or their dignity. They dropped 51 points in a quarter, another NBA record. So for those of you who thought the balance of power might be shifting with the Nuggets at #1, the Warriors were there to let you know the Kings ain't gone yet. Bro, that hoodie is fresh. Danny, thank you. I hope you tuned in the beginning. Y'all might have to watch the live if you didn't, because I dropped the word of the day. We're gonna need both those forms of information in order for you to get your own BR hoodie. Talk about James Harden, 17 games with 30 plus. Alif Stacks, yeah. Harden is cooking, man. What he's doing is officially unprecedented now. 17 games, 30 plus points. He dropped 57 to get to that 17 game streak. And yo, you talk about one of the strongest backs in the game. This dude Harden has put his team on his back, and he's taking them as they climb and climb and climb the rungs of the Western Conference. But I'm telling you, man, every time I think the Warriors might be a step off, they do something like what they did last night. Klay had 4 dunks and said to him that felt better than 10 three-pointers hit. Klay's feeling himself dunking. This team is just different. And then on the 18th, in 2 days, Boogie's back. And he's probably going to be in the starting lineup. It's spooky hours for the NBA. Kawhi or Giannis? SM the ball at 24. Right now, that's a tougher question than what you're asking. That's a tougher question than I thought it was going to be. I think I'll still take Kawhi. He's the proven commodity, two-way player, can hit a consistent jump shot, keep the defense honest, and he's just on that next level. And he's brought the Raptors to a different level of legitimacy than they've been before. But Giannis, he's there. He's right there. This is the man that Euro steps from the three-point line. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, he just gets better and shows different type of athleticism than what we're accustomed to seeing. So it's closer than some people may even think, but right now, I think I'm going with Kawhi. Warriors will win the championships in 2019. Rashad Ursiri, the Captain Obvious Award, potentially for the year, goes to you. I think that's the smart money right now. It's always been the smart money. I still say they are more vulnerable than we think. The Rockets were about 400,645 missed threes away from sending them home, and a Chris Paul injury in Game 7 to me. But if Boogie does anything remotely like what he was doing in Noya, whatever, man. Like, just chalk them up for the 3-peat. Warriors going out like the 04 Lakers. Souls of King. I don't know, man. Boogie ain't no Gary Payton 2004 or Karl Malone 2004, and they still have a guy named KD. They still have Clay. And I know y'all slander Draymond now. He's having a little bit of an off season, and he's not keeping the defense as honest as he was before. But yeah, I don't know about 04. Like, that was a totally different comparison. But nothing that I've seen in the Warriors so far this season, up until this point, makes me think that they're going to go out like them. If they do go out, it's going to be in epic fashion like 2016 when they blew that famous lead. KD built like Randy from Monsters. Yo, Christian, Yeah, he'll still give you 40 lightly. So he could be built like anything you say, but KD's a bad, bad dude, man, for real. NBA's too soft. That's why Harden is as good as he is. King Floyd Simba. I think we romanticize the 90s era and the early aughts a little bit too much. There were a lot of defenders, but a lot of those dudes weren't as athletic as this era. That's why they were able to hand check to keep people in front. All that dribbling and stuff Harden was doing, if I can put my hand on your hip to keep you away, then I neutralize anything that you can do. Plus, the defenses change. There's a lot of changes that favor the offense now, but you have to have a certain level of athleticism to play the defense, the lockdown defense that you need in this era. So I still think Harden would have been an absolute bucket. He would have been drawing fouls that players like Jordan and others, when Reggie used to kick out his leg, that people would complain about. Yeah, Harden would have been a bucket in the old era too. Speaking of buckets, Jimmy Buckets, he turned up and the Sixers really gave it to his former team last night. As you see Joel Embiid back at it again, saying it was an honor to play on the third string against the starters, referencing what Jimmy in that famous practice where he allegedly took the third string players and smoked the starters. And there's been I've seen a lot of revenge games in this NBA season. Blake annihilated the Clippers in LA. DeMar dropped his first triple-double of his career against his former team, the Raptors. And speaking of the Raptors, Dwayne Casey came in with the Pistons and beat the Raptors in Toronto. The Raptors have been getting the short end of the stick in that revenge game scenario. And a lot of I'm eager to see what the rest of the players who have a gripe with former teams do. Who's the front runner for MVP? Victorious Living CC. 17 games, 30-plus points. Not giving a fuck about what you say or what you do. Traveling around the world, around the NBA, and you still can't stop him. Right now, it's James Harden. It's not even close. There's no debate until the second half of the season starts for me. Will the Lakers reach the Western Conference Finals? _bigger. If you're a gambling man, put some money on it. You might win a lot of money because the odds are saying no. I'm eager to see and interested to see how LeBron comes back from this groin injury. Is he just recharging like Wolverine and he'll be good as new, or will it linger? I still think when he's on the team, it's a totally different squad. To me, my pick is that they're at least gonna reach the semis, and it depends on who they play. Whenever they see the Warriors, they're out. So if they can avoid the Warriors until the finals, they may have a path, but I think there's a few other teams that are just a little bit better than them, and in some cases a lot better than them right now. Sacramento is taking the 8th seed and making the playoffs. I'm Noah Lurd. I can't argue with you, man. The Kings are different this year. De'Aaron Fox has been balling out. Kali Stein, my Haitian brother Ska Labissiere. They're doing their thing. Like, everybody on that team, buddy, like, yo, there's so many different players that have been stepping up and making the Kings legitimate. Vivek ain't a joke anymore, man, at least not now. So if you're betting on them taking the 8th seed, I really can't argue. Where can I get that hoodie? Mr. Sammy Joe, you and all of you can get this hoodie at shop.bleacherreport.com. That's shop.bleacherreport.com. Good prices, better merch. This is my pitch to be on Home Shopping Network at some point. I hope you can support me in my endeavor. But seriously, I would buy this merch if I didn't work at the company. That's how good it is. I'm keeping it 100% real. Who's getting traded from the Lakers? Braden Hack. Ingram has been seen as the person that's been the #1 target of teams that see potential in him and want to put him on the squad. I would say if your name isn't LeBron James, possibly Kyle Kuzma, I think that everybody else is on the table. Yeah, everybody else, y'all shouting out the hoodie, man. So again, I hope that you were watching in the beginning where you got the word of the day, because the word of the day and this trivia question. Chico, are they ready for the trivia question yet? All right, let's do it. So you needed the word of the day, and you need to answer this trivia question correctly. You send us those two to Bleacher Report's DMs, and they have to be right, first of all, and you will have a chance to win this hoodie, any size, your size. You'll get that going. This is just right for me, but it may not be for you, or it may be your size. We'll see. This is the question of the day, your trivia question. On this day in 1966, which city was awarded an NBA franchise? Once again, today, January 16th, in 1966, which city was awarded an NBA franchise? Send that answer along with the question of the day to Bleacher Report's IG DMs, and you will have a chance to win. This is also 2019, so please do all appropriate Googles and any type of research that you need. The answer is literally at your fingertips. Go ahead, go get that, and you too can be sporting the best sports media merch in the game. And speaking of Google, we're gonna talk a little bit about comebacks. There's been a lot of good comebacks. Andrew Luck, I think, had a great comeback this year. A lot of other players that can make that claim. But what about Soulja Boy? Yeah, that Soulja Boy, Big Draco. He recently did an interview today on The Breakfast Club, and he made a claim saying that he was the biggest comeback in 2018. They kind of disputed it. Check it out and see what they were saying.
Oh, look how he crossed over.
Meek Mill ain't beef with Chris Brown and was finna box with Floyd Mayweather.
He beef with Drake, the biggest rapper in the world.
Drake? Drake? Got bodied by Pusha T?
I mean,
Hiding his kid from the world, but his world wouldn't hide from the kid?
he is still the biggest star, though.
Aubrey Graham in the wheelchair. Drake?
Yes.
Degrassi was fire, too. I mean,
You better stop playing with me.
he was
Y'all talking
fire.
about the light skin from DeGeneres?
From Toronto.
Yo, stop playing with me.
From where?
Degrassi.
Stop telling me like I ain't teach Drake everything he
He's
know.
on Degrassi
You taught
DeGeneres.
Drake everything he know.
Y'all ain't hear Drake on his first song? Tell me what's really going on. Drizzy Drake back in this thing already. That's Soulja. That's my
Y'all believe
bar.
that?
He copied my whole flow.
That kissed me through the
Drake
phone.
copied
He copied
Soulja's
my
flow?
whole word for word,
I
bar
don't
for
know.
bar.
I don't know.
Don't act like I didn't make Drake. Don't do that.
Listen, Soulja Boy is a treasure. He is a national institution, and he gives some of the best interviews I've ever seen. Did he have the best comeback in 2018? I don't really know, but one claim he did make that I do have to co-sign, he was one of the first rappers, probably the first, that was on the internet wave before anybody else, on YouTube first, on social media first, using the internet to his advantage to make money. Crank That, he produced himself, wrote himself, got that money directly. And at the time, everybody was kind of shitting on him like, who is this dude? What is this? What is this bullshit that he's putting out? You're killing hip hop. That, I don't know, I think that's a little bit of the extreme, but nobody really believed in what he was doing. And now, 10 years later, that's pretty much the blueprint for what record labels and artists and execs were doing. Remember, he was popularizing music with dances, although that is the history of hip hop. He set it off in the internet era with that. And I'm not gonna lie, he even, let me pull this up, he even named some rappers, Famous Dex, Rich the Kid, Lil Pump. He said he's discovered Chief Keef. You can look back into history and see that he had his fingertips on a lot of that. 15 million ringtones sold. Like, he was really in that forefront. As far as the comeback of 2018, I don't know. I think he's hyping himself a little bit too much. Drake do ride waves, bro. Windy City Buddha. I mean, at this point, he's already done the Caribbean, he's done Jamaica, he's done Toronto, he got to reggaeton. I'm ready for him to do compa and like square dancing. At this point, he could hop on any wave and elevate it to another level and use it as his own. Drake is like the Shang Tsung of hip hop right now. He takes your style, he transforms, and boom. It's like Cell for you Dragon Ball Z fans. Don't sleep on Drago, Ty Beezy. Listen, man, I never sleep on Soulja Boy. That man knows how to make money. As outrageous as some of his claims are, he was doing, he was the precursor for a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now. Believe it or not, Drake along with the hip hop blogs and a lot of other people, were one of the forefathers of this. Little B was before Soulja Boy. Too Cozy, you might have to check. You might have to check your timelines on that. I don't know that. Questlove, Sixers, yes sir, Mr. Questlove. Yeah, they're doing their thing. You guys are showing improving. I wonder if they can take the East. I don't know yet, but right now I have to salute you. Thank you for watching and salute your team. Like, the Sixers are really out here and they're really great for this show because we always got something to say. Well, that does it for me. Thank you so much for joining. And once again, if you want this BR merch, send the word of the day and that trivia question, the correct answer, to Bleacher Report's DMs. And if you didn't hear, if you're just joining now, go ahead and watch the replay. One of you lucky fans are gonna get a chance to be fresh like us and the rest of the BR fam. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here the rest of the week. And until next time, I'm Jeff, at Jeff J Says on all social media. Check me out, and we'll talk to you later.